Welcome to the Island Times. I'm Tom Patton. Here's part 2 of my interview with Atlantic Beach Mayor Mike Borno, recorded recently at Atlantic Beach City Hall. I was talking with Charlie Latham down in Jacksonville Beach, and obviously they have a fairly large vagrancy issue down there. Do you see that same kind of problem here at this end of the beach, or are your public safety issues far more traffic violations and home break-ins and dangerous dogs?
Vagrancy is an issue, not a major issue, as it is in Jacksonville Beach, but it'll always exist. I've worked with the homeless. Well, we were in the startup for Mission House 20-some years ago, and I still work there once a month cooking dinner on the fourth Wednesday. But we have transitioned within that. We've got a great director. We have a solid program, but not everybody that's a vagrant on the beach is in that system. Right. That system has pulled it together nicely. You have mental issues. Mental issues, as we know, as we go around with the Hope Wagon and all that, we have trimmed down tremendously, and we, by our police department, our cops program, working with them and knowing these people one-on-one, a lot of them do not reside or camp out in Atlantic Beach. Once in a while we get some that are not familiar with the area, they'll try the dunes and that, and we work to get them in to cycle, Salzbacher, wherever. What program really do they need? You will always, always have a percentage that will never, ever want to get off the streets and do not want to get in programs. Tremendous mental issue. And that is the core. A lot of that filters through Atlantic Beach. We got a lot of abandoned trailer parks in Jacksonville to the north of us on the island here. And I took Mayor Brown right after he got in office a little over a year ago out to show him areas in his part of town out on the beach that are being overrun with vagrants. And it's a serious problem. All you got to do, just remember, we pride ourselves on our vegetation and our tree canopy. Get one mistake in one of those trailer parks that are overgrown and it's dry brush and it goes up in flames, we got a problem that we're not going to be able to control. Yeah. That's a safety issue.
That is.
So we try and keep a handle on knowing where anybody and everybody's at.
You mentioned something that I was not aware of and that intrigues me when you say that Atlantic Beach may expand to the north.
That's my hope.
By my estimation, that means Mayport.
I have always talked, not loud, because Bucking Heads was past counselors from downtown that used to be in charge of this district. And we now have a phenomenal representative for District 13, Bill Gulliford, former mayor here at Atlantic Beach, who is common sense, logical, has his feet on the ground, and searches for facts and knows how to get to middle ground. He, I think, will support me. We have in private conversations, but a time will come when we need to be vocal that I would like to see us annex all of Jacksonville that's on the island, including the village of Mayport, including Naval Station Mayport, into the city of Atlantic Beach. And everybody says, well, you're taking on a lot of burden, you almost double your population. That's true, but you also have your ad valorem tax base and that comes into it, that it now walks out of here. But with our interlocal agreement with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and other things, we are I think 96, 97% of the time, the first responders to any problem that they have police-wise up in that area. Plus Station 55, our fire station, is a backup for 41, which is that area of Jacksonville on the island. And it just, we believe in public safety, but we're not getting the financial, we're carrying it out of the citizens of Atlantic Beach's current revenue pockets. I think it's just a good common sense thing to do it all the way. I know there's residents up there that live in the Jacksonville section of it that have voiced, well, we wouldn't want to be in Atlantic Beach. And I said, well, why would it not be? You would take 25% surcharge off your water and sewer, that you would come back to the regular rates that the citizens of Atlantic Beach have. And they say, well, you're too regulatory. Your code enforcement is more active out here. Your animal control is more active out here. We don't want to come underneath that strange. Jacksonville gives us lip service, but they don't do anything. So, and I said, I understand that. And I've also had a large group of people saying, why, they get upset. They have a 32233 Atlantic Beach zip code signed by the post office. They think they're in Atlantic Beach. They live across that boundary like Dutton Road. Just middle of Dutton Road is a dividing line between Jacksonville's property and Atlantic Beach. Mm-hmm. They live to the north of it, and they'll call for something, and they'll say, I'm sorry, you are not in Atlantic Beach. You need to contact Jacksonville. And they want to be part of Atlantic Beach.
Right. Let's talk about those interlocal agreements for just a moment that you brought up. Obviously, the city of Jacksonville sent you a bill for waste disposal, which as you and Mayor Pruitt have both said that you don't owe. Where are the negotiations on not only the solid waste disposal, but in the overall thought about reopening those interlocal agreements?
First of all, let's say in our opening the interlocal agreements, I do not believe it's beneficial to open interlocal agreements. But if it did, I have a feeling that Jacksonville would cringe, because I think the beaches are being shortchanged. That's the reason we had to go to litigation in the 90s, and it's why we have an interlocal agreement, because Duval County, the Jacksonville City Council, and the mayor's office, too often, that John Delaney straightened it out, but many of the others have no comprehension of the what the interlocal agreement says for both parties. So they ignore it when they do their jobs, and they throw out a budget, and they'll say, Jacksonville's budget such and such, but forget, you got 3 beaches here and Baldwin on the far side.
Right.
And we're not treated fairly, never have been, better than it was in some times. But those are issues that are being dealt with. We're in conversation and with Councilman Gulliford, and the citizens want to help back us up. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Mm-hmm. That's, citizens got to remember, don't be silent. Support us. We've got issues.
So let's talk about that, the solid waste disposal issue, because that's the one that kind of brought all of this to a head, at least most recently.
Most recently. We were billed last year, and we turned around and I think it was almost $500,000 for Atlantic Beach side. And again this year, and this is done through the mayor's office. And we said, no, we don't feel that. It all relates to what they say they are, Jacksonville says that they are charging a equitable in accordance with the interlocal, I forget the total term, but a fair charge. Mm-hmm. And when that was reached, then the tipping fees would then be incurred by the beach cities, Neptune and Atlantic Beach. Again, due to a hell of a background of our city manager, who has ran waste systems, knowledgeable. We agreed with Neptune Beach. We employed a audit firm that is skilled in auditing waste treatments, garbage disposals. That result has given us an indication that, and what we had said in 2011, that was true. There was not. There was 2 figures given. You can't have 2 figures and have them equal. Right. 2012, same problem. We audited their books. They could not support their books. Well, and part of it was Mayor Brown's transition. Mayor Brown did as a service, I feel, to himself And I forewarned him ahead of time what he was doing before he got elected. But it fell on deaf ears. That he has managed to get rid of so many employees that were in Jacksonville that he has no history, no background. And they don't know where anything's at. And in my opinion, I think they're sitting there. Employees down there are very, very uncomfortable. The only thing they worry about is their job. Where's the axe going to fall next? And not really paying attention what it takes to run their responsibilities in each department. Difficulty of being able to have a conversation with them is ludicrous. We have tried for months, documented phone calls, documented letters. Oh, we didn't get them. Yeah. But it goes on and on. That is the major part of the issue, trying to resolve where we are right now, is being able to get together. Finally, there was a meeting asked for by our two city managers, Neptune and Atlantic Beach, last week with the Public Works Department. And I forget who the other person was, but when they walked in, there was 4 people there. This is typical of Jacksonville, try and pull a surprise on you, instead of being upfront and honest. And it transpired, and they had a reasonable conversation. We received a letter saying that we understand this is what transpired in the meetings. Totally inaccurate. That letter is being answered in the positive with facts of what was discussed and what was not discussed. It's an ongoing thing. The tipping fee issue between the beaches is going to be heard at the Waste Disposal Committee meeting, subcommittee that Councilman Gulliford has initiated, because he saw this coming, and he's been initiating those, and we've been involved with them and a lot of the haulers down in town since, I'm going to say June or July of last year. And that's coming up, tipping fees. Mayor Pruitt and I and others will go, we'll listen and see what's transpiring, what the questions are.
In the final part of this interview, we'll talk with Mayor Borno about the importance of the St. Johns River Ferry to the city of Atlantic Beach, as well as plans for the Mayport Road Corridor. For the Island Times, I'm Tom Patton.